Hi, this is Aric Nesbitt, and you're watching Gold Media, LLC.
Senator Nesbitt, thank you so much for joining Gold Media.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
So, we are really excited to have this podcast with you. Appreciate your time and your patience. So, really wanted to know what got you interested in public services.
Yeah, so I grew up on a sixth-generation dairy and grape farm where I learned the values of hard work. Middle of five kids, you realize growing up on a dairy and grape farm why they had five kids. The labor was a lot cheaper that way. But that's where Aric with an A comes from. My oldest brother was Andrew, then there was Aaron. By the time my mom got to me, it was either going to be Aric or Erica with an A. And kind of glad she went with Aric. Probably would have grown up a little tougher if it was Erica. Then there's April, and the youngest got the best deal. She's the angel in the family. And so growing up on that farm, you understand the value of community, the value of family, the value of hard work, and that's something that I've always taken with me throughout my life. I worked through Hillsdale College, did my degree in economics there. And most recently, as we've been looking at the state, Michiganders deserve so much better than what they're getting out of Lansing and state government. And so I decided it was time to step up and work to deliver results for hardworking taxpayers here in Michigan. And that's why we've started our campaign for governor in January on a Michigan First agenda, putting Michigan families first, Michigan students first, and Michigan workers first. I have a young family. I've been married for a few years, have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and we got a third one on the way this spring. So we're vested in the state.
Oh, congratulations.
And we want to see what's best for our state.
So, you're preparing up for a very big race. Being governor is like the ultimate leadership position anybody can have in the state. So, what is it that you think is lagging in the current administration, and how you, as governor of Michigan, would like to fix it?
Yeah. So as I look at it, our Michigan First agenda, as I mentioned, is about putting Michigan families first, Michigan students first, Michigan workers first. And really, as you look at putting Michigan students and families first, it's about making sure that there's choice and accountability in our public school system. 3 out of 4 fourth graders can't read at grade level. 3 out of 4 eighth graders can't read at grade level.
I can relate to that.
It's a disservice for our students and for the next generation.
Yeah.
We're a bottom 10 state in our reading scores and our education scores. And so it's about time that we step up and, one, make sure we get back to basics. Enough of this, I think for so much with the schools, they try to be so many things to so many different people. Let's get back to basics, reading, writing, arithmetic. Let's make sure that our students are learning at the right grade level. And then in high school, let's work on the pathways, making sure that students, if they're going to go on to college, make sure they have that basis to go on to college. But if they want to go straight into the workforce, what certification, what spark lights that student to be able to get family supporting jobs when they graduate? And so I think education needs to be a top priority going in, for the next governor. We need to fix this. And then the last few years, we've seen $4.5 billion spent on corporate welfare without new jobs, without the creation of the economic growth that we need to see. If we don't do something about shaking up state government, if we don't do something to shaking up the bureaucracy and having that deliver to the working families and workers across the state, we're going to be a shrinking, poorer state with less opportunity for our children and grandchildren. So the next 30 years, if we do nothing, there's going to be 700,000 less Michiganders in 2054 than there are today. I don't want that to happen. We need to step up, and we need to reform the state, fix our state, get Michigan working again.
That statistics look scary, but then you've served as senator already. What has been some of your proudest moment as senator in that leadership position?
Well, it's representing my people back home in the district. I would say during the COVID shutdowns, I served on the Oversight Committee, Joint House-Senate Oversight Committee, and we worked together to try to provide a voice to small business owners around the state, to families across the state that was having the devastating impact of the lockdowns and the shutdowns from the current administration. And what we did together was we really provided a voice for a lot of these small business folks around the state, whether they were restaurants, bowling alleys, arcades, just any number of businesses that may not have had lobbyists in Lansing, but we wanted to be that voice in the Senate during that time, and also providing information. Folks with help, whether it was on unemployment benefits, trying to cut through the red tape in Treasury. And over the last few years, what I've seen in the permitting process from different departments was that they're delaying issuing permits for businesses that wanted to invest and grow in the state. And that's something where, as I look at Ohio or Indiana, they're beating our butt every day on some of these permitting processes, and we need to step up here in Michigan.
So, very interesting time in Michigan, especially at the national level, administration has changed. What are some of the avenues, like economic development avenues, that you think might open up soon for Michigan and something that will really take the economy to the next level?
Yeah, I think what President Trump is doing in protecting and defending American and Michigan manufacturing is important as we work to create next generation jobs, next century jobs that are important to Americans. Let's make it America first, Michigan first. Let's make it in Michigan. And so what President Trump is doing and what he got elected last year was because out of control inflation that was affecting the pocketbook of Michigan families around the state, the effects of illegal immigration and crime that was affecting the U.S., fentanyl, methamphetamine, killing our young people, that the scourge of it that needs to be stopped. And he's been effective already in just the first month in trying to stop that. The wars that have been going on in Eastern Europe and in the Middle East, working to solve those problems. But the most important thing is a belief and trust in America. We're turning 250 years old next year.
Right.
The oldest constitution in the nation, in the world. Oldest
world.
constitution in the world. But we're a very young country.
Yeah.
And so how do we look at it that we don't just survive a few more years or another election, but we survive for another 250 years, that we create those processes. The reason why you came to our country for opportunities and effort. There's a reason what our founders put together. We're an exceptional nation. We're an exceptionally vibrant nation. And how do we grow to that next level? And that's something that I'm going to continue to work on here in Michigan, is saying that we can either manage a decline as a state, or we can work together to improve education, improve our economy, improve our tax structure, improve our infrastructure so we can grow and invest here at home.
Being governor of Michigan, what does it personally mean to you, and how driven are you to be in that leadership position?
It's about the governor of Michigan needs to work just as hard as everyday Michiganders show up to work and work hard here in the state. I have a young family. I have 2 kids, a third on the way. I want to make sure that they have every opportunity to get an education, start a career, a job here in the state. I want to make it so that people want to retire here, vacation here. We've got to fix our infrastructure, not just for a campaign cycle, but for long term, to make sure we're investing here in Michigan. And so as I look at it, my family's been here in Michigan for 7 generations. We've been farming in the same township for 6 generations. I want to have that farm that's been there for 6 generations to be turned over to that 7th generation. Mm-hmm. And that's going to require a governor who's willing to step up, who's willing to work together, who's willing to engage communities all around the state, whether it's downriver or in Oakland or all the way out in Ironwood in the western UP, to make sure everybody has a seat at that table, and we're working together to improve our state to make us compete and win in the 21st century.
How wonderful. Senator Nesbitt, what message would you like to leave for the people of Michigan today?
Don't give up. Let's continue to fight. Let's continue to be part of it. I know the grit and determination of Michiganders and Michigan families around the state. I know the love that you have for this state and being able to be a hub of trade or agriculture or auto manufacturing. There's been challenges. You see that in some of our cities. How do we make sure that Detroit, Pontiac, Saginaw, Benton Harbor are successful again, are growing again? And I think that's up to each and every one of us to make sure that we're doing our part, to grow the economy, to help keep families safe and secure here. And that's just really getting back to basics. Take care of our education system, making sure students are learning at grade level. Get the woke ideology out of our schools and the 70 different pronouns. Let's get back to reading, writing, arithmetic. No matter who you worship, the the community that you're in, trying to make sure that at every day possible that people are working together to make this a better place for their community, their families, and their businesses.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking the time to join Gold Media and express your thoughts. Wish you good luck for your upcoming campaign.
Hey, thanks for having me. Thanks for covering the issues that matter to people around Michigan. And it's an important project that you have to bring fresh news and perspective to folks where they're at.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep.